it helps her sleep. It seems it's the quilt my mama gave to me the day I turned 16.
Okay, we're back to our wall hanging, the guided star. So far we have our 4 major blocks finished. A, B, C, and D. These are the elongated log cabins, and these are the regular log cabins. What we're going to do now is the sashing part that goes right down the middle. So we're going to start on the 4 areas here first, and then we'll do the center. So let's get going. Well, here we are. We're getting ready to start the sashing. Basically, on this pattern, we've done all of this. We've done all of this. That is what we had on the design board earlier. Now we're going to be doing the center areas of the cross. So we've got 3 short pieces, which will be here, here, and here. And we've got 1 long piece, which will be right here. But to make the little star in the middle, we need the little tiny gold squares. And the first thing it tells us to do is to draw a line down the center diagonally. So I have my square here. I just got a straight ruler, and I go from corner to corner, and I'm going to draw a line. And that's the line we'll be sewing on. So let me go ahead and draw all the lines on this, and then I'll show you the next step. Now the first thing you do is you take your square, the one that you had put your line on in the middle on the back side, and now we're going to lay these face down together. So I'm going to put it right in the corner of my first sashing and just lay it down. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to sew from this corner to this corner. Be right back. Okay, now we're going to sew the first square to the sashing. Corner to corner, the way we had drawn the lines. Just like that, corner to corner. We'll go press this and I'll show you how to do that. We're just going to press that down. All you do is just one little press. That's to set the seam. Then we're going to take it and we're going to push it over toward the outside. So we're going to have this little flap, and we're going to come back and we're going to cut this away 1/4 inch from the seam line. Okay, now we're going to cut this away 1/4 inch from the seam line. You could do it either way. You could cut this away before you press it or after. It really doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is on this ruler, there's a 1/4 inch seam right there. So I'm going to set this dotted line, which is the 1/4 inch seam, I'm going to put that on top of my seam. When I do that, and I cut right here at the edge of the ruler, it's going to give me a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm just going to cut that away. That becomes scraps. And there I have my square. What we're going to do next is put the next square in the corner, just as we did before, only this time the line that we drew is going the opposite direction. So we're going to sew from this side to the end, which is going to be on top of the square or the rectangle, excuse me, triangle that we just did, and it will hold that down as well as putting the next one up. What it's going to do is make an arrow look. So we're going to go and sew that down now. Now we're going to put the second square on. You just lay it down, you get it, the square in the corner, and we're going to sew on the diagonal again on the line that we drew. So just sit it up there. Make sure it's lined up to the corner or the side, and sew down that line. If you want to do what's called assembly line sew, you just get your next one. Do the same thing. If that seems too complicated, just do one at a time, that's fine. Now we've got 2 of them done, and we will go press them and trim as needed. We're back to the design wall now. We have our 4 sashings finished, so I'm going to put them up and show you what it's going to almost look like. So remember, we made those that look like the arrows, and this is where they go. We just have the little part that goes right here, and we'll do a little bit to that. See, it already almost looks like a middle star. This is the guiding star. So let's do a little bit more prep work, and I'll be back and show you how to do the next part. Now we're going to work on this, the square that goes right in the middle of that star. So we're going to start off with our little dark blue fabric, and we're actually going to just be putting triangles on each side of that blue fabric. So right sides together. Of course, they're not going to meet up perfectly, so you just put it to the edge of each one. You're going to have some hangover on both sides. Basically what you want to do is just guesstimate having this point looks like it's going right down the middle of that square. If you want to, you can draw light lines of pencil, and you can line it up perfectly with that drawn line down the center on all 4 sides. So basically this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to sew this triangle on 1/4 inch again. Everything stays the same, 1/4 inch. Okay, so I've got it sewn on, and what I want to do is I want to fold my triangle over so that I am sewing the pressing the seam allowance toward the triangle. So finger press again. I'm just going to quick press here on the ironing board with my small little iron. The next piece we put on is going to be the exact same way, just the opposite side. So right along the edge. Make this look like it's going right down the center and sew it on. Same thing, finger press toward the triangle and then press. And you should have something that looks like this. Once we get that done, we're going to take the next piece, whoops, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. And you're going to have something that looks kind of like this at the top. Okay, so just sew that together. What you do is you're going to finger press and hard press. Again, same thing toward the outside. And then you're going to put the last piece on, same way. And you have something that looks like this. This is actually called a square in a square because you put 4 pieces around the edge and you made it a square, but you have a square in the middle on point. That just means it's not parallel to each other. Okay, so we're going to take this over and we're going to square it up, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, we're back now. We're going to get rid of all the jagged dog ears on the edges of this square. We need it to measure 3 inches by 3 inches. So this ruler is a 4.5 by 4.5, so I can use this ruler. What I'm going to do is find the center of this square, and what I'm going to do is fold it corner to corner, do a little finger press, turn it around this way, corner to corner, and a little finger press, and right in the middle of that triangle, or that X right there, is where I want to put my 3.5. So I want this line to go across that. So I'm gonna go, it's pretty close, so I won't be trimming off much. So I just trim off this side, trim off this side, turn it around, and now I want the 3.5 inch mark right here. Oops, that's 3. Make sure you do it right, because if you don't do it right, you're gonna cut off some you don't want to cut off. So I've got 3.5 here, 3.5 here, and 3.5 here. So anything extra is what's coming off. And as you can tell, not very much came off. So that's good. So that's garbage. So I have my 3.5 by 3.5 right here. So this is what's going to go up in my square on my board. So there is all of it put on the design board. Now let me show you how we're actually going to put it together. We're going to do it in rows of 3. So this one, and this one is a row of 3. This one, and this one is a row of 3. And then this one, and this one is a row of 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and this one. I'm going to put them right sides together. And I'm going to sew those two together. Once I get those two together, I'm then going to take this one and sew it to this piece, and then I'll have one whole row together. I'll do the same thing with these. I'll sew this one to this one, and then that one to both of those. This one to this one, and then this one to all of those. Once we do that, we do just the opposite, going up and down. So I'll try and do it step by step so you can see what's going on, and then we'll keep on moving.
Quietly, it helps her sleep, it seems. It's the quilt my mama gave to me the day I turned 16.